Good afternoon. Welcome to my water-wise garden. We started here about 12 years ago, and we started first with the idea of a conventional pond and stream, and won't it be great, we'll pump water through here. And over the years we've realized that that's probably not the best thing we can do for the environment. So recently we switched this area here over to being a bog garden, and the water supply comes from the downspout. And so what that lets us do is have all these excellent plants that are more water loving than what we'd be able to have in something that was strictly a drought tolerant, sun loving kind of situation. So the idea with the rain garden is that the soil acts as a filter, and with soil as a filter, of course, you get all the benefits rather than in an engineered system. You have something that's very costly, something that has to be maintained. The water that comes from your roof and your driveway, if you can get that going into your yard, actually that takes a huge burden off the overall system, just because that water now doesn't have to be treated further downstream in the pond. So this is part of a whole system that runs all the way across this 18-meter wide lot. Water from the downspout comes through here. There's soil underneath the gravel, and that soil by capillary action is going to give the moisture to the plants that are a bit further away from the bog, and any excess actually is going to spill under a pipe that comes out the other side here, and that system carries on all the way across the yard, and we're going to look at that as we continue on here. So we never water the whole garden, we just water the parts that are where new plants have gone in, and we water the containers, of course, and maybe once a week or so we come out and top up the tiny little pond where the horsetail is, because that might get mosquitoes if you didn't add something to that every now and then. And that's partly because we designed it originally as a conventional system. We thought we'd have a whole pumped system. If you want to have a pond, it would probably be better to put it right at the downspout, and that way we get flush through more often. And then sometimes in August, if something's looking really droopy, we will add something just from the rain barrel or something like that. So this is a downspout on this side that is actually tied into the system, even though it doesn't look like it. Whatever water comes out here is going to go across this pathway, and it goes down to the other side of the yard, and that's treated a little bit differently. When it rains, the water comes across the pathway and down these steps, and it makes a little natural waterfall. And when that water gets here, it goes into this depression. You could say it's a dry riverbed, but from a stormwater perspective, it provides buffering to the system so that water doesn't immediately go onto the street and into the stormwater system. So compared to a driveway with a downspout nearby, it's a much better solution. If everyone did just a little bit with their downspouts and figured out how they could water their plants with it, they would make a huge difference altogether in the effect on the stormwater system. And it would save taxpayer dollars, it would give us better quality in our rivers and streams, and it's something that everybody can do. There's more forgiveness in this kind of an arrangement where, yes, it still is work and you still have to do certain things, but it doesn't require it of you every single week. It's more of a seasonal thing. There's spring maintenance, there's fall maintenance. You know, if you want to add things in, then of course that's work as well. But overall, it just seemed to be a system that needed less work. And then of course just watching things change through the seasons, it's very rewarding to see how dynamic it is. And you know from the birds and the butterflies and the bees that come to the yard that you're doing something good for habitat. And then it also is productive. There are apples and berries and various things that we get from it that no lawn's ever going to give you. We just did it gradually. We started with plants that were very inexpensive and spread very quickly. We used flax, we used yarrow, we used some cover crops that you can get from, if you go to your pet store and you ask for untreated seed for your pets, your horse for instance, you know, oats make an excellent cover crop. And you can mow it just like grass, but next year it's not there, and you can add in something that's more meaningful to you. And then as you have budget, you can start to change things out, and that's exactly how we did it.